Hello, I'm Carla, your millionaire mistress, and welcome back to my channel. You know what most people get wrong about money? They think it's fast, but that's not how it worked for me. I became a multi-millionaire the slow way, not by gambling on crypto, not by buying Bentleys and fast cars, just by understanding how money works, how you use the tools and financial products and services available to you, and then letting those systems work for me. So in this video, I'll show you how I built wealth over 30 years. I know I look very young. And how that compares to what most Western millionaires actually do. The actual facts, their habits, and the real blueprint. You can do this as well. So, how I got rich. Here's what I didn't do. I didn't chase trends or invest money in things I didn't understand. I didn't blow money on showy status symbols, and I didn't expect results in 6 months. In the Chinese zodiac, I'm born in the year of the ox. Not very exciting, I know. But unlike the rats, snakes and pigs I know who chose to approach getting rich super quick, they've all been boom and bust. They've had bankruptcies, they've had IVAs. I'm a true ox. I'm diligent, dependable, steady and supportive. In my view, if you want to create long-term wealth, then you must behave like an ox. So here's what I did to get rich. I started with one income stream. For most people, that's a job, working as an employee in someone else's business. There are only so many hours in a week, so you have to educate yourself, keep upgrading your skills, volunteer to take on more responsibility, and work for the highest bidder. You must always seek to grow and maximize your salary because this is your baseline income. I lived below my means, even when I had a 6-figure salary. Yes, I visited 55 countries and I've treated myself to lovely things from time to time, but the to me, from me gifts are always bought from the physical profit from a smart investment. I invested in real estate, buying my first home when I was 24. I rented out rooms to overpay my mortgage, and then later on I invested in index funds. Every month I was consistent. I reinvested my profits. Instead of going wild on spending sprees, despite being wealthy, I'm happy to wear clothes I thrift from a charity shop, and I drive a pre-owned Vauxhall Insignia Grand Sport SRI. It's perfect for me. It looks like an executive car when it's all washed and polished and shiny, and it functions as a useful landlord car when required. People who know me take the piss out of my Vauxhall. But I'm richer than they are, so who's the fool? I know that sounds harsh, but it's true. So I just stayed curious. I have a thirst for knowledge. I keep learning. I still keep learning, even now I'm wealthy. And I've played the long game. I've retired early and I live with financial freedom. I don't have to work for anyone unless I choose to. I have the security of multiple income streams and the option to choose what I invest in next. And it can always just be something that interests me or inspires me or I'm passionate about. The process was steady and cumulative, and it's amazing when you see your efforts and bank balances compounding. This method works, and you need to measure your success to keep on track. Well, I do. I update my net worth spreadsheets every month without fail. I even have tenants who I encourage to run their net worth. And they look kind of depressed when they first complete the spreadsheet. But you don't worry about that. The smart thing is that you're asking questions and you're starting your journey now. If you make smart financial choices every day in just 12 months' time, everything will just be a habit and your spreadsheet will look much better than it does today. And that's all you're looking for. Let's talk about what most millionaires do to make money. Here are their top 5 income sources that Western millionaires set up. Number 1, entrepreneurship. 62% of US millionaires are self-employed or own a business. They typically start small businesses and grow these over time. It could be a contracting business, e-commerce, consulting. By owning and operating your own business, you can leverage cash flow and equity. 2, real estate investment. Fact, 1 in 3 millionaires owns real estate outside of their own primary home. They buy rental properties, or they buy, refurbish and sell properties, or they invest in REITs, which is a real estate investment trust. Millionaires like the cash flow, passive income and capital appreciation that real estate investments provide. This drives their long-term wealth. Number 3, stock market investing. Fact: most millionaires hold diversified portfolios, not necessarily stocks for individual companies. They invest in broad index funds like the S&P 500, and they don't chase individual stocks, and they certainly don't bail when the market looks tough. They seek long-term growth through reinvested dividends and rising stock prices. Number 4, side hustles. Millionaires take what they already know and build it into a secondary income source. Whether it's coding, coaching, content creation, they convert their existing skills into new money. And they use income from their 9-to-5 job to fund other side projects that they are passionate about. Number 5, equity ownership. Millionaires invest in other private businesses or own equity in companies, especially startups. This is more risky. So this type of investment usually comes after the millionaires have built a baseline of several income streams, because this means that any losses could be absorbed easily without this investment impacting their core income sources. These are the millionaire habits that matter more than luck and hoping that Bitcoin will become liquid or universally accepted this year. Number 1, frugality. They live below their means, they drive used cars, and they avoid accumulating debt. They spend less so they can invest more of their money. They can still live well now, and they can still leave a legacy for their family. Patience and discipline. Millionaires know that wealth takes years to accumulate. Millionaires are consistent. They don't panic sell when the market's tough. They let interest compound and deliver steady growth over many years, not weeks. Number 3, they're committed to lifelong learning. 85% of millionaires read at least 2 books per month, which if you think about it is not a lot. You could easily do that on an audiobook while you're driving in the car, for example. They listen to mentors and study money, including understanding the lifestyles and mistakes of people who have lost millions, because those lessons are just as important as the lessons of people that have been highly successful financially. Millionaires do invest in their personal development, but please note that I've purposely made this sentence the last point on this section because I do not recommend that you borrow any money in order to attend a training or mentoring program. Whether you know the person, whether it's a word of mouth recommendation, or whether you've seen a training course online, do not part with cash you've had to borrow to attend a training course. That's just my view on that matter. Goal-oriented planning. Millionaires set income goals. They use budget planners and they use the tools that are available to them. You know if you are reaching your target, if you are measuring your performance against that target. It's basic stuff, right? Number 5, delayed gratification. So as I said before, millionaires are in it for the long term. They'll wait to get their rewards. They let their assets and investments grow before they buy any toys. They don't let their salary pay for those toys. The millionaire mindset is, can my investments afford this? Not, can I afford this? They're two different things. So, in summary, I'm proud to say that I exhibit all of the disciplines and I ignore people who tell me, oh, you should just buy the car you want. I want a Bentley Continental GT Turbo. But if I had a spare 250 grand, I would divide it into 3 pots, buy new residential properties to rent out, and create myself another £10,000 to £15,000 a month of rent income. I just think my brain isn't naturally wired to think, I want to buy a depreciating asset. I don't want to buy a depreciating asset. I want to buy me an asset that continues to just churn out cash every month. Just think, the car devalues as soon as you drive it off the forecourt. But the second I get the keys to a house and I configure it to the layout I want, then that literally prints me £10,000 to £15,000 a month. So why would I do anything different? It doesn't make sense. And properties in the UK nearly double every 10 years. So why would I buy an expensive toy that depreciates in value that I just don't need? I like my Vauxhall. So, what can I say? However, I'm a girl, so buying jewellery is different. Because with jewellery, you can wear it and enjoy it every day. You can pass it on to other members of the family as you get older. And it's easy to sell if you needed to do so at some point. So yes, I do like nice jewellery, but the car, not so much. Maybe that's a man thing. I don't know. So part 4, quick versus slow wealth. Why my way wins, obviously. So I know you want to get rich quick. Everyone wants shortcuts, but shortcuts are often scams involving you borrowing money or handing over large sums of money. You can gamble or you can grow. Get rich quick money fades if you haven't built the disciplines and knowledge required to retain, manage and expand that money. Slow money compounds through understanding and developing habits. The boring ox road buys you freedom, confidence and peace of mind that your money is stable. If you want to gamble, go and book a trip to Vegas. Go gamble, you sin, you get it all out of your system, and then you use your time there to let your brain wander and start pondering. What are you good at? How else could you use the skills and knowledge you already have to make more money? If you want freedom, commit to building something solid and scalable. When you understand how money compounds, you stop trying to impress other people with how smart you are at wasting money and take steps to build multiple income streams which make you money while you sleep and enable you to buy income generating assets. I do this face. When people I know who have no money or who've had an IVA tell me what I should do with my money. Don't listen to anyone, but people who have made money legally and yourself, as only you know what you want to achieve and what lifestyle you want. And most importantly, consider this. What are you willing to commit to doing or to giving up in order to achieve your target lifestyle? What are you willing to do? Hopefully, I've got your brain whirring. If you feel uncomfortable, that's good. That means you're ready to take action and make a change. So here's my challenge to you. Drop a comment below and tell me your primary income source, and then tell me what your ideal income stream is. Once you say this out loud, your brain will start finding ways for you to achieve your goal. I look forward to reading your comments. Remember, please like, share and subscribe. And if you're getting rich slowly, you're still getting rich, right? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.